Now, a new Oxfam report says that global migrant deaths are up more than 20% since the body of 3-year-old Aylan Kurdi washed up on the shores of the Aegean Sea 1 year ago. 4,664 migrant deaths were recorded in 2014. 5,700 people have died while traveling on refugee and migrant routes around the world in the last year. Since January of 2016, one migrant dies every 80 minutes trying to reach a safe place. Well, for more on this, we're joined by Katy Wright in London. She is the head of global affairs at Oxfam. Katy, thanks for joining us. Explain some of the reasons why this is actually getting worse. Why is the death toll rising?
I mean, in technical reasons, in technical terms, the reasons are that the horrific circumstances that people are experiencing in places like Syria in particular are continuing. So the needs are rising for people to leave and try and find somewhere safe to live. Also, as routes are being shut down, people smugglers and people themselves are resorting to ever more dangerous ways to try to meet safety. But in general terms, I think we have to say that the numbers are rising because the majority of richer countries are indifferent to this suffering and have basically not done enough in policy terms to protect people on the move and to give them safe places to go to and safe ways to get there.
And Katy, when we see, such traumatic and powerful images as the one we did of Aylan Kurdi, we like to think that that will change something, that his death might prevent the deaths of other people going forward. Is that not really the case at all?
Well, the disappointing fact is that no, it doesn't seem to be. It mobilises huge amounts of people, and government needs to listen to that sympathy and that outpouring of humanity. There are lots of examples as well of communities around the UK taking it upon themselves to welcome refugees into their home and into their community. But as we're saying, with the numbers rising, so far the overall response from governments and governments with the resources and capability to act has been disappointing. Now we're pushing for that really urgently to change in the coming weeks. Governments from around the world are going to 2 unprecedented summits on refugee and migration issues being hosted in New York. They have an opportunity there to respond to outpourings of sympathy and to respond to the sorts of tragedies that are taking place, like Aylan's, on a daily, if not hourly basis, and do something about it. What we're looking for them to do specifically...
I think you were just going to answer my next question. Give us some specific ideas. What do they need to do?
Yeah, I mean, in a UK context, that's where I'm speaking from now in particular, we're calling on the UK government to welcome significantly more refugees into the UK. If you look at the amount of refugees around the world, only about 1% are in the UK, and we're still one of the richest countries in the world. Significantly more need to be resettled here, with a priority given to people who already have families here, unaccompanied children and other vulnerable people, of course. We also need to work out how to get people here safely. So that means not just resorting to dangerous treks across the Middle East and the Mediterranean and Europe. We want to look at humanitarian visa schemes that can allow vulnerable people to be brought here safely, more search and rescue operations in the Mediterranean to prevent deaths. And then the third thing that a country like the UK needs to do is recognise the fact that the vast majority of refugees are being hosted by countries significantly poorer than us, countries that need more help and more support to support the millions of people that they're hosting. And this is countries like Lebanon, countries like Jordan in particular.
Okay. Katy, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us with that from Oxfam in London.